Tabulations are extremely powerful. So far, we've only used sum to total the order amount, for example, for a particular employee and a particular shipper. But you're going to see that you can actually modify the data that's included in your cross-tabulation. I'm going to return to the Design tab. Once I've done that, within the report header, I'm going to scroll up to the report header, and I'm going to right-click the cross-tabulation. Now, it's important that I select the entire cross-tabulation. Notice the tooltip a moment ago that said cross-tab. If I right-click an object within the cross-tabulation, I'm going to get one context-sensitive menu, whereas if I right-click in this blank area up here, I'm going to get a different menu, a menu that affects that cross-tabulation. And what I want to do is format my cross-tab. You can actually have additional rows. So for example, within my customer name, I can break things down by ship via. So I'm going to grab the ship via and bring it up into the rows for the report. And notice that I'm now going to be viewing customer name and ship via. If I want to view what this looks like, I can go ahead and click OK and preview and take a look at what we get. In our initial cross-tabulation, the one that's in the report header, it breaks it up not only by employee and customer, but further breaks it up into FedEx, Loomis, and so forth, so by shipper. So you can see that right now, here's our 929030 for FedEx, which remember, we can verify, going to another page that contains our data. There's that 929030. So we've broken our cross-tabulation down so that we're viewing our cross-tabulation by employee, customer, and shipper. Pretty cool, huh? Well, let's return to the Design tab. And with the Design tab active, let's make another change. I'm going to right-click the cross-tabulation and format the cross-tab again. But this time, what I want to do is count the number of orders in each of these situations. So I'm going to find the order ID. I'm going to grab the order ID, which is within the orders table, and I'm going to drag and drop it to the summarized fields. But what I want to do with the order ID is I don't want to sum it. I want to actually count the orders. So if I select the summarized field, which is order ID, in order to change the summarized calculation for the order ID, I need to exit this dialog. So I'm going to click OK and close the dialog. Now notice that here we have our cross-tabulation. Here's our order ID and here's our order amount. It's the order ID that I want to affect. So I right-click the order ID, and what I want to do is change the summary operation. Now before I do that, I want to show you something. Let's come over to the Preview tab so you can see what we're getting now and what we get in a moment. I'm going to click the Preview tab, and when I do click the Preview tab, notice that the numbers that I'm getting are pretty odd. These are not the number of orders for that particular employee, customer, and shipper. This number is way too high. It's actually adding order IDs. So I'm going to return to Design. In fact, I don't even need to return to Design. I can right-click right here, and I can change the summary operation. By default, we're summing. We're summing the order ID. Instead, what I want to do is count the number of order IDs for that particular employee, customer, and shipper combination. Now you can see that for Anne, for Alley Cat Cycles for FedEx, there was really only one order. For Loomis, for Janet Leverling, there were actually two orders for Loomis for Alley Cat Cycles. So you can see that I can summarize the information however I'd like. Right-clicking again, if I go into Change Summary Operation, notice that there's a lot of really cool choices that are available to me as to how I want to summarize this data when I cross-tabulate it. I'm going to go ahead and click Cancel so that I leave this as it was at the count. Finally, let's see how we can modify the appearance of our